What's going on? Welcome back. So I'm doing a clean and check here on a Tempstar carrier furnace from 2011. This is a propane furnace, and what I'm finding here is when we do the combustion analysis, the CO parts per million is up at 127 parts per million in first stage at 5.68 inches of water column, the gas pressure. Another thing that I want to note is the excess air right here at 194 and 194. Now, a lot of the times that excess air will be somewhere between maybe 50 and 120. So both of those are really high. And we've been finding, in the beginning with these furnaces, for the first, maybe 10 years, Carrier thought that these heat exchangers were bulletproof, that they were never going to go bad because it's a stainless steel secondary heat exchanger. So they thought that it was just never going to go bad. But what we have been finding, what I've been finding, what my company and I have been finding is that with propane furnaces, these heat exchangers will go bad sometimes within 7 or 8 years. This one has made it 14 years, but this is an issue with, this is a problem with the heat exchanger right here. I did take the burners off and look down there and saw a lot of rust and corrosion. Propane is just eating away at the metal. You can see the screw right in there is hugely corroded. Let's see what happens when we turn up the gas pressure here. See if the CO goes down, and then we'll also jump it into high fire and see what we see. Okay, so let's go ahead and adjust the gas pressure here. Stiff adjustment. Alright, up at 6.1 inches of water column, and we're not getting really any fluctuation. The CO is not coming down any. The excess air right here has gone down slightly from 195, but not significant enough to relieve any worry. Not a significant enough drop to say, oh, well, now we don't really have to worry about that. Let's put it into high fire and see what it looks like in high fire. Go to W2. W1. Okay, our gas pressure has gone up to 11 inches, right where it's supposed to be, and our combustion analysis is dropping. It's dropping a little bit. See how far it goes down. The excess air also has dropped, but did not drop below 100. That's a little bit interesting. With these combustion analysis, with the front cover off, we would be able to rule out any restrictions in the intake. Not quite sure. can't say 100% about a restriction in the exhaust, but being that it has dropped below 100, that's a big enough drop to assume that there's no restrictions within the exhaust pipe here. So as long as our inducer is pulling a strong enough vacuum, everything but the heat exchanger can be ruled out. And the way that I'm going to test the inducer is to pull this hose off and put it on my manometer. After I'm done measuring all this stuff, we'll pull this hose off and put it on the manometer and make sure that it's pulling significantly above the vacuum that the pressure switch is rated for. And so we see the combustion analysis, the CO right here has stayed at 70, which is still relatively high. Okay, I think for me, 60 parts per million, and I'm gonna start asking questions or trying to figure out what's going on with that. So this is why you should always be running the combustion analyzer when you're doing the maintenance, and also when you're checking the gas pressure or adjusting the gas pressure. You should always be running the combustion analysis. And also, these newer model carrier furnaces, the heat exchanger is not bulletproof, and especially with propane applications, we are seeing quite a bit of issues. You know, not quite as bad as the older model carriers, the 40-inch carriers, but it's getting there. So, hope that helps. We'll catch you all in the next one.